I'd like to bring up our first speakers tonight, and that is Jamie Hong Kim, who is the Director of Guest Relations here at the Science Museum of Virginia. And it is safe to say we would not be in this building tonight if Jamie had not approached us back in April at the Earth Day event here. She came up to us as we were breaking down our table outside, and she said, Sierra Club, I've seen emails from you all, and, it seems like you'd like to come back here, and I think I can make that happen. And it took some effort on her part, and some communications, and she did make that happen, and we are very, very grateful. Let's welcome Jamie Hong.
I really appreciate it. I'm super excited to host you guys, the family here at the Science Museum. We are just over the moon every time I've spoken at any of our operations meeting. The Sierra Club partnership is back, and we've re-engaged with the Sierra Club. Everyone has been so happy about this partnership. So that's just a testament to your all's group and your efforts in the community that our employees have enjoyed so much, and that this partnership can continue. So first, welcome back, right? Welcome back. My name is Jamie Hong Kim. Oh, there's probably a split display up here. My name is Jamie Hong Kim. As Joe introduced, I'm the Director of Guest Experience, which is really just a fancy title. I just work in operations around here, just to keep things going. That's typically what I do. Sorry, I'm normally a walker. I'm not usually a person who likes to stand still. I like to walk a lot. This slide right here, just to tell a little bit about what's happening next at the Science Museum. We are getting an interactive exhibit called Math Alive, and that's going to be in our Garner Gallery, which is on level 1, all the way down the west hallway. We're super excited. I am not a math person by nature. You give me history and English and world geography, and I gotcha. But math, not so much me. But this is a kinesthetic way to learn math, so we're very excited about that. So that's going to open up in September, so when you come out, last week of September, come out and see that exhibit if you're out and about in the neighborhood. So just a couple of things. Raise your hand if this is the first time you've been to the museum. It's okay. It's okay. It's the first time you've been to the museum. So a lot of you, it sounds like you guys are repeat frequent flyers, and we love that, so thank you. Just in case you didn't know, this used to be a train station, right? So we're in one of the historical rooms. This used to be a cafe, and you could come in and eat before you boarded your train. And what was unique about our train station here is that it was the first of its kind to move the trains forward and around, which was really cool. Other train stations you had to back up, and it made travel not very efficient. But it's a very historical building. It's on the historical register. We're very proud about that. We love our building. We try to take great care of it. And our mission here as the Science Museum is to enrich the lives of Virginians through science, all Virginians. And so we do that in many forms, but most importantly, what makes us unique is we're a very kinesthetic museum to learn science. It's hands-on learning, which we feel that's very unique in how you learn. So that's what's unique to us. And I feel like our mission and our collective efforts with the Sierra Club, your all's passion for the environment, social quality, and community engagement makes us a great co-partner with you guys in furthering both our endeavors and our journey. So we just wanted to say thank you for doing what you do. I've registered for an event in November with Siobhan, so I'm ready. And we hope for many more Tuesday nights here with you guys. I'm going to bring up my coworker Jared, who's going to speak a little bit about volunteer opportunities here at the museum. Take it away, Jared.
Hi everyone, welcome. As Jamie said, I'm Jared Strotterman. I'm the volunteer internship coordinator here at the Science Museum. My last job, I worked for 8 years at a national wildlife refuge in the Northwest. I was also the vice president of the local Audubon chapter there. So when I heard you all were coming back here and I read your most recent newsletter, which was amazing, I was like, gosh, I need to come to this meeting and learn more about y'all. And I also wanted to share about our awesome green space outside. We have one of the only green spaces on Broad Street out here. As y'all probably know, this used to be a parking lot out front in front of the parking garage, and now it is 7 acres of green space. We tripled the amount of native plants that are out there, and we're starting to do more and more activities out there in the green. We do senior mornings, we do walks out there every Friday morning. We do all sorts of different activities out in the green. We're also planning to expand the green onto DMV Drive, which is going to be called the East Green. So we'll definitely keep you posted on the planning sessions for that area. But we maintain that 7 acres with 1.5 staff people. And there's a lots to do in that area. And every first Tuesday of the month, pretty much spring to fall, we have a public volunteer event out in the green. So the next one's going to be October 1st. And we're going to be planting about 2,000 plants out in the green on the far east side over by the McDonald's. Yeah, that way. And we could use some help. So if anybody's available on Mondays or Tuesdays, we'd love to have you out on that day. Or if y'all would like to come on a different day, our horticulturalist Tyler would love to create a special event for y'all. So we've got opportunities, we've got flexibility, and then beyond the green, we have all sorts of opportunities inside the museum to support us in enhancing the guest experience here. We have an eco lab with an active beehive. We have an animal lab with live animals. So we have all sorts of things here. So thank you for listening. I'm excited to hear everything tonight, and I hope to see you again.
So one of the things we do hope to do going forward is arrange these volunteer days here at the Science Museum. We don't want that half person Jared mentioned to have to work too hard. Thank you. All right. Now we're going to move into the Sierra Club and start with the state chapter level. You know, this is something that doesn't just come to everybody naturally in their mind, but the levels of the Sierra Club take a little bit of remembering. So there's one national club. There are then 64 chapters. So there's one chapter in the state of Virginia. And also in the state of Virginia are 10 local groups, of which the Falls of the James Group is one. The Falls of the James Group territory is Richmond, surrounding counties, and from Charles City in the east to Cumberland in the west, and down to the North Carolina state line. And the staff person, the highest ranking staff person in charge of all this area, is our next speaker. Connor Kish took on the role of director of the Virginia chapter of Sierra Club about 1 year ago, and he has steered us through interesting times with a mixture of good humor, good sense, and excellent organizing ability. So let's have a warm welcome for Connor Kish.
Thank you, Joe. Oh, we need to got the clicker. All right, click away when I'm talking too much. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Joe. My name is Connor Kish. I am the director of the Sierra Club here in Virginia, which is a really big job. That's a really big state. And Joe did a great job of mentioning our levels of groups, our state chapter, our national organization, and you can really get lost in that matrix. But what I can tell you is that matrix allows us to have power at every level. If we need the EPA, we can get them. If we need the DEQ, we can get them. If we need the local county, we can get them. If we need the city, we can get them. So that is why the layers, while they maybe seem a little odd at first, really bring power to our organization. I'm honored to be the director of the Sierra Club here in Virginia, and it has really been kind of almost undescribable what I've learned over the last year about the depths of this organization, the people that make it run. People like the Falls of the James Group leaders who put on amazing events like this all across the Commonwealth, all across the country, are bringing people together, they're bringing communities together, they're bringing ideas together, and they're doing it with good nature and good humor, and providing people an opportunity to get involved in their community. and that is what the Sierra Club is about. Because when people get involved in their community, we can make really, really awesome change at every level. Joe asked me to talk just briefly about the state chapter and the work that we do. So looking behind me here, they have put up a photo map here of our Virginia chapter staff. So this is our awesome team here across the Commonwealth working on all sorts of things. All this information is also available over on the table, so don't feel like you have to remember it. But all of these people make the Sierra Club work in Virginia alongside our amazing volunteer leaders. And all of our staff are working on so many things that it's hard to give every one person just one job title. But we are all working together on all sorts of stuff. So we are tackling issues from the state legislature, lawmakers. We are working through political advocacy. We are making endorsements. We are raising political money. We are lobbying for bills. We are lobbying against bills. Some bills were neutral, believe it or not, just neutral. And all of that is happening at the same time as what I believe is the most powerful and effective organizing operation ever. And that is that we are engaged in grassroots campaigns to do any number of things across Virginia at any given time. So right now we are working to stop a potential proposed gas plant in Chesterfield County. We are working to reform how data centers are constructed in Fairfax County. We are working to finish the construction of the largest offshore wind farm in America off the coast of Virginia. All that's happening at the same time as the lobbying, the political, and there's more. We're also going outside. We are having outings across the Commonwealth. Our local groups are putting on outings. Local outings leaders are putting on outings. Hikes, kayaks, walks, educational opportunities that you can find on our website, sierraclub.org/Virginia. There it is, good timing. And so we are doing those three things. And I'm gonna give you a fourth, which is that in addition to scaling up clean energy and when I say scaling down dirty energy, we are also offering people the opportunity to advocate and get involved and learn more about conservation causes. What's the quality of our water? How's the river doing? Are forests being cut down? Are forests being planted? How can we make the water cleaner? How can we make the air cleaner? What are the action opportunities that the public can do to make those things happen? So I have left copies of this over there on the table, but I call it our quadrant. It's the four things that we are working on at the state level to make the Sierra Club the most effective grassroots organizing force ever. And I believe that we are. We've had a lot of wins to point to. I want to also share that as great as our team is, so many members of our team are here tonight, the people who are the members of the Sierra Club make it work. And let me give you an example. There are lots of advocacy organizations that can speak on topics very brilliantly. They've got a lot of expertise. They may have a lot of lawyers, they may have a lot of engineers, they may have a geologist and everything else. But we can make effective change when we move in mass, and we can make effective change when people know you can vote for them. So we do our best at the Sierra Club at the state level to bring forward the voices of people to their lawmakers to make environmental progress happen in Virginia. And we can do that because look at this room here tonight. There's one happening all over the Commonwealth that every Tuesday or Thursday, whenever the meetings occur, and we're able to show up and tell people that it matters, this work matters, the decisions that they're making matter. And this is where it starts. This is where we make cleaner air and cleaner water happen for everyone. It starts right here in this room. And so we're really lucky to have the amazing Falls of the James group doing incredible local advocacy all over their territory. And we have people like Joe who are willing to lead and volunteer to lead, by the way. I'm not paying Joe. Maybe I'll think about it. But they're willing to take on this work and build a community together so that we can see the world be a better place and a cleaner place for everyone to live and thrive. So thank you so much to the Falls of James group. Thank you so much to all of you for coming here today. I hope you'll, on your way out, take a little flyer looks like this over on the table, and you can read more about the four quadrants, the four items that I just spoke about that the chapter is engaged in. And there's more to learn, so I'm going to pass it to Joe, I think. Thank you.
Lots of clapping tonight. Thank you, Connor. And another thing we like to do is get out and meet people, meet the public at events, not only indoors at a program like tonight, but tabling at various festivals, events, other things like that. And the young woman I'm about to introduce is one of the best I've ever seen at this. There seems to be no human being of any race, creed, color, or age that she cannot make a connection with, and I've witnessed this personally. Let's have a hand, and let's get to know Via Truman, Community Engagement Coordinator.
Now it's Daniel. I'm thankful you are well. My name is Via Truman. I'm not really one for speaking, but I'm working on, I'm not one for speaking, but I'm working on a project that's really important, and I hope that you will hear me for a couple minutes. Right now in the community of Chesterfield, there is a gas plant that's being proposed to be put in. The community has been working for over a year at this point to push back against this happening. We've been showing up with letter writing, with rallies before the Board of Supervisors meetings, letters to the Board of Supervisors, letters to the editor. There have been a bunch of things that we've been doing, and we've been seeing progress. Oh my God, you guys put slides of things. So we do have things going on pretty regularly. Coming up September 25th is going to be another rally for the Board of Supervisors. If you cannot make that in person, we have ways of being able to do things remotely. This community is fighting really hard, and we need all the support you can get. If you sign up for emails and you've ever seen something from me, we're just gonna hang out, we're gonna write some letters. It's not gonna be stressful, it's gonna be comfortable, I promise. So if you are interested in this, we have a lot going on in Chesterfield. If Chesterfield is too far, I understand. We also have different events going on in the Richmond area. The next one, if you're interested in tabling, and you like veggies, is Veg Fest. I would love to see some friendly faces come out, help hand out our dinosaur stickers and our t-shirts, and just have a good time. So there's always stuff going on. There's always things that I can help plug you in with. If you have an interest and a passion, I would love to be able to help support that however I can. But really, if you are interested and able to help support with the Chesterfield project, I beg of you to help us with this fight. Thank you very much.
And our next speaker is also a community engagement coordinator in Richmond with the Virginia chapter, and she is the lead on building electrification. We want to get away, I'm going to say this haltingly and badly, but we want to get away from fossil fuels. We want to get away from burning gas and oil and towards electrification. Electricity uses energy because electricity can be produced in a good way if there is the will to do it. Let's have a round of applause for McKenna Dunbar.
Good evening, everyone. Before I begin on my tirade about all things energy efficiency and built-in decarbonization, I wanted to pose a question for everyone. What percentage of our lives as Americans do you think we spend indoors? I'll give you all 5 seconds to reflect on that. What percentage of our lives as Americans do you think we spend indoors? 80%? 90? Who else? I heard a 70? Okay, usually I get more 30s and 40%. So I'm like, oh wow, you guys are brave. But the answer is 91%. So whoever said 90%, you guys are right. You're smarter than a 5th grader. But the reason I ask you this question is because the response shows how important it is to focus on our indoor air quality. and reducing pollutants where we can, through policy, through advocacy, through program design for important federal incentives and large climate investments like the Inflation Reduction Act passed by the Biden-Harris administration over 2 years ago, a few weeks ago. And building decarbonization, the work that we're doing as a chapter on energy efficiency focused on the start of the energy toolkit in order for us to transition to a renewable energy future is important because common Virginians, all of us, and many of us, and there are some houseless people, live in buildings. And some of the main priorities we're focused on at the chapter is attacking and implementing the Inflation Reduction Act, specifically with the home energy rebates and the whole home energy rebate funds that allocate up to $14,000 for Virginians to transition their homes from using fossil fuels to using renewable energy sources. And one of the other initiatives that we're leading is in the realm of regional jails. We've partnered with an organization that is accredited called FLIP Inc., the North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners, to go into regional jails for a 40-hour time period and educate them on solar installation practices, holistic energy concerns, the 5 pillars of building electrification, which include equity, it being electric, it being efficient, it being grid interactive, and it having smart control systems, in addition to other factors that lead them into higher employment and working directly with employment partners in Central Virginia. And this is due to the type of coalitions that we formed, partnering with the Virginia Energy Office, with other community-based organizations to rally and advocate for more whole-scale decarbonization practices that are not only more accessible, but more equitable as a whole. So thank you everyone for being here, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Now staying on the theme of electrification, electricity, but moving to folks from our local group, volunteers, as opposed to McKenna, Bia, and Connor, who are on staff for the State Sierra Club. The other folks who speak tonight are volunteers from our local area. And the first one of those is Lee Williams, who is on one of 9 members of our executive committee. She is also active with Green New Deal Virginia. She is one of the leaders and organizers of the coalition's Electrify RVA and Beyond Methane RVA, and she's going to tell us about some of the work that they do. Lee Williams.
Stand up. I stood up a minute ago. It felt so good to stand up. Just stand up a second. Move your body around a little bit. These chairs are lovely, but I need more padding. And say hello to the person next to you, especially if you don't know who they are. Because a lot of us don't know who we're sitting next to, which is so nice about having these in-person meetings again. We get to see people after COVID, and it's lovely. Excellent, thank you. Okay. As Jim said, I'm Lee Williams. I'm the advocacy chair of the Falls of James group, and we have a wealth of activities that you can ride your bike to or hike to if you want to. But we do everything from partnering with other groups for like tree plantings, to cleanups, recycling projects for electronics. But where the meat is for me is policy change, because it's great to enjoy nature, but we have to protect it, and that starts with who we elect at the local level, the state level, and the national level. There's a QR code that's going to be over on the table when I'm finished. Please sign up. If you don't want to do legislative work, that's great, but I can make sure that you are on a listserv about electrification or methane or tree planting. We can find you a home where you can be with like-minded folks, and hopefully it'll be a gateway and then you'll come do political work with me. In 2019, and I'm sorry this is going to be redundant for some of you, in 2019, Green New Deal Virginia had a climate and ecological emergency resolution at the state level. It passed the House, and then it got killed in the Senate by the Democrats. And then we brought it back the next year, and Democratic leadership in the House wouldn't even send it to a committee and docket it because it was an election year and they didn't want to talk about anything as crazy as a climate emergency. So one of our coalition partners, XR Rebellion, Barry O'Keefe, took it to the newly elected city council member, Catherine Jordan, in the 2nd District. Anybody in the 2nd District? Catherine Jordan? All right, outstanding superstar you had in office there. Well, she was able to wrangle 8 other city council members to sign on unanimously to pass Richmond's climate ecological emergency resolution, which is non-binding, but there are 13 things in there that we've been chipping away since 2021 when we passed it. Everything from phasing out Richmond Gas Works and converting it to a clean energy utility, can you imagine? To plastic bag taxes, to hiring an urban forester, to document what trees we have, take care of these urban heat islands that we've all been hearing about next to the Science Museum in Jeremy Hoffman, and water quality in the James River. Our combined sewer overflow that nobody wants to talk about, addressing that issue. But 13 things, we have 4 left, so we've done really well in the short time that we passed this. But the final push is here, and we need, well, I digress. One of the biggest things we accomplished was getting the 1st District, Andreas Addison, to pass a new ordinance establishing a Public Utility and Services Commission. Richmond Gas Works is a municipally owned gas works, which means it's ours, it's the taxpayers. And at that point, it was one of the biggest top 10 in the country that was municipally owned, and the only one in the top 10 that didn't have any oversight. So we would ask questions of City Council and the Mayor and the DPU, and nobody had any answers for us. So now we have a Public Utility and Services Commission. I am proud to report that Kevin Cianfarini, ex-com member, is the chair of our newly established Public Utility and Services Commission. And he's also on the subcommittee dealing with Richmond Gas Works. So things are moving. It's slowly but surely, and we would love your help. So I will stop there before Aileen holds her sign up again, because I could talk all night, because there's so much going on. Please join us. It's fun. Oh yes, so we have so much data on the amount of leaks. There's over 1,000 leaks in the city of Richmond. We found that out in the first couple months of our project with Electrify RVA. And we track something called pulse points, so we know on a daily basis how many 911 calls are made to the Richmond Fire Department for gas leaks. So we don't have to go out and sniff anymore. We have a beautiful methane detector that we take with us on in-house visits. But now we're getting data on how much nitrogen dioxide is being emitted from your gas stove in your kitchen in a 30-minute period. And that little instrument is what I bring, and we boil water on your stove. We take readings at 15 minutes, 30 minutes, then we turn everything off and see what happens 15 minutes after that, and the numbers are still elevated. It's sad that I get so excited when the numbers are bad, but that's what we want, to drive home, to educate homeowners about the importance of running your fan. And if your fan doesn't vent outdoors, it's not going to help you, so you really need to open doors and windows to the outside to get this stuff out of your house, because it causes a lot of respiratory issues. If you already see pre-existing conditions like asthma, COPD, heart disease, diabetes, it's going to make them worse. It causes inflammation in the body. So that's all I'm going to say. Otherwise, I'm going to bring the whole camera down here. But who's next, Joe?
Next is the aforementioned chair of the Public Utilities and Services Commission, who is also, and perhaps equally importantly, the most energetic member of our executive committee, demonstrating that right there, Kevin Cianfarini, to make my attempt at the name, all right, is going to talk to us tonight about something we hope to spend a lot of time and effort doing in the next 55 days. That is canvassing, door knocking in the city of Richmond And there is, of course, quite a few levels of the election that is coming up. What Kevin is going to talk to you about now is city council, because we just heard about Catherine Jordan, fantastic city councilwoman. Thank goodness she is running unopposed. But there are 4 council people that we have endorsed that have opponents, and we want to get out there and volunteer for them and show them that the Sierra Club has their back and get them elected so we can have a better city council and some better developments and outcomes in the city of Richmond. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Gianfarini.
I could put it better than Joe put it. By a quick show of hands, how many of you are concerned about climate change? Amazing, I'm talking to the right group. By a quick show of hands, how many of you are nervous about the debate tonight and perhaps the election in November? Okay, great. There's a lot of people that are going to vote for that presidential election, but I can tell you with confidence there's not a lot of people that are going to vote for city council. I have personally knocked hundreds of doors, as have some other volunteers, and in each district we're going to get on the order of thousands of people voting. So if I'm able to convince a handful of people when I'm on the doors for these candidates that we have endorsed for environmental reasons, that's going to sway the election. And I'm just one person. If everybody in this room were to take a shift or 2 or 10 or 100 of canvassing for these candidates, we can really sway our policymakers. We can let them know that the environment is an issue and Richmond can do something about it. There are a lot of big issues, or big policy topics like the Inflation Reduction Act that McKenna mentioned, but there are a lot of things that are going to fall to the city and state levels. One of those is, Lee mentioned it, is Richmond Gas Works. It's the 8th largest municipal gas utility in the nation. It sells zillions and zillions of whatever unit of gas you need to worry about, and more importantly, there's lots of leaks. In the city itself, we can do things like reducing the amount of car transportation that's needed so people can walk and bike places without polluting to get around. We can do lots of things to mitigate heat island effects and help people be more resilient against the face of climate change. And then there's tons of other environmental and conservation topics like water control. The point I'm trying to get at is the city has power and we have power over the city. So I have a quick clipboard here. I've only got one, but I'm going to humbly ask that some of you sign up to canvass for some of our candidates. Joe touched on it briefly. We are only canvassing for 4 of our endorsed candidates, and that's because they're the ones in competed races. So we need to show out for them and make sure that the constituents of their districts know that they are the best choice, not only for environmental reasons, but for other reasons as well. So if we want to pass that around the room, that would be great. So the 4 that we are canvassing for are in the 1st district, Andrew Gumby Breton. The 3rd district, Cara Rose, her full name is Maria Cara Rose. The 6th district, Tavares Floyd, and the 9th district, Stephanie Starling. Just to touch briefly on why we endorse some of these people. If anybody has specific questions, I'm happy to talk with you afterwards. But we sat down and we spoke with these people for many meetings, probably frustrated them quite a bit because we took up lots of their time. But we tried to exercise quite a bit of diligence to make sure we were making the best choices for city council that were available to us for the environment. That's really all I've got to say.
Is there a mayoral endorsement?
We have not endorsed anybody for mayor yet. The mayor's race is tough. We are still considering it.
We're working and pondering diligently on that one. Next speaker is one of our hardest working volunteers, an educator, a gardener, the co-leader of the Big Yard Sale, which is the annual fundraiser and waste diversion event at University of Richmond. And, I'm supposed to change the slide too. And she expends huge amounts of effort and energy every weekend, or each month anyway. She's gonna tell you these facts. At Bellmead Community Center. So let's bring out and have a round of applause for Lisa Thompson.
Well, Joe gave me quite a nice upgrade, but I am going to talk to you about these two particular volunteer opportunities. And looking out at everybody that's here tonight, many of you are already more than familiar with our great big yard sale. It's been going on for over 25 years, and it's a chance for us to put our beliefs in recycling and diverting useful items from the landfill with a partnership with the University of Richmond's Sustainability Department. So we organize the yard sale, usually the weekend after graduation. It takes a lot of work to set up the tents and collect the items that students hadn't thought about. You know, they just wanted to pull out after they graduate, didn't think about full apartment full of usable items. So we take those things that we can sell, and then we have our major fundraiser, the Great Big Yard Sale. And so we're collecting on what we call Big Monday, where we set up tents near the dumpsters, near the doors. Oh, I'm sorry, still need, okay. So we have the Big Monday, then we have a week of organizing for the sale, sorting things, and then we partner with lots of nonprofits in Richmond as well for things that we can't sell. That pillows go to Caritas. Heavy furniture that we don't want to deal with will go to Diversity Thrift, or Goodwill takes all of the remaining items. Animal shelters get, you know, towels and bedding that are not sellable. So what I love about the Great Big Yard Sale is that it builds relationships. I mean, not only is it a great fundraiser, but it develops relationships with the community that come and buy nice low-cost items from us. The university, and we have a chance to talk to a lot of parents about what we're doing, and, you know, just a lot of publicity for the Sierra Club, and then of course with these nonprofits. Okay, the other ongoing opportunity to volunteer is with Bellmead Park, and many of you, show of hands for some of you that have shown up at the different events. Yeah, so the first Saturday of each month, there's a Conserve and Create Day that we have participated in, members of the club have. And there's also ongoing outdoor club every Saturday morning for kids in the neighborhood. So let me talk to you about what is Bellmead Parks. The gentleman at the top is Bob Argabright. He was one of our Green Giants, won an award for his vision. He started volunteering at the school, the adjacent school, and noticed that there was this beautiful city park. Well, not really beautiful at the time. It was overgrown and underused. The hillsides were all eroded, and so it needed some TLC. So he contacted the Sierra Club, Boy Scout groups, and others, and brought them in master gardeners. And now it's an oasis, and it's a learning center. And the city of Richmond brings students in, opportunities to do, quote, field trips, you know, bringing in grade levels for the day. They partner with groups like Blue Sky and other educators. And, so there's a lot of opportunities. You can take a picture at the table there. I have the brochure. If you have particular skills or you like working with young people, it's ongoing every Saturday morning. In addition to the outdoor club, there's also tutoring. They call it the Reading Academy. We get students from collegiate that come out and help these young people, the kids that come to the park, you know, on their school subjects. And then we get out into the park and enjoy the day. Okay? So those are some opportunities for you all.
Thank you, Lisa. And our next speaker is a former member of our executive committee who still does tremendous, lengthy, backbreaking, painstaking jobs for us, including putting together, being a newsletter editor and our member engagement coordinator. This is a person who makes everybody feel welcome at meetings, when they join, with emails, and with outings. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Siobhan Peacock.
Thank you very
definitely, who likes to go outside and hike and explore? Excellent. Okay, well, please come to some of our outings. We had an amazing outing on Sunday to Blue Ridge Tunnel, and I see one of the participants over there, and I saw Lisa was on the hike. We had 16 people, and we went through the Blue Ridge Tunnel. It's about a mile long, and then we went to the Blue Mountain Brewery afterwards, so it was a really fun day. So anyway, we have 4 volunteer outings leaders in the Falls of the James group, and Doug, will you stand up? You're one of them, Doug Cobian, and he's got a couple hikes coming up. Ralph Rowe's not here, but he's another big hiking leader, and then Gustavo Angeles in the state chapter is also outing a couple months ago out at Dutch Gap to look at where Dominion was thinking of putting the gas plant. So anyway, if you want to know about our outings, you can go and use the QR code to get to our website. We have a calendar event, and then if you signed the sign-in sheet, and I can read your email address, I'll put you in the database and send you an email, a newsletter, and I'll also send you a follow-up email from this meeting so that to give you more information about, how you can click to our Facebook page and Instagram and X platform, and so you can follow all the things that we're doing. So anyway, we have 4 hikes coming up this month, and let's see, what else? And then we've got a hike coming up. Oh, we're doing a tour of Shalom Farms in the town here in Northside, and we're also doing a hike, or I'm leading a hike with Doug in November to the Appomattox River, and John Zubner is going to give us a tour of the Battersea plant, historic home, which was the home of the first mayor of Petersburg. So it's a beautiful spot. It's going to be beautiful weather, hopefully, and it's a good time of year to see the fall colors and the falls of the Appomattox. So thank you very much, and please get on out.
And that really concludes our speakers. I'll mention that we have a lot of great information on the tables over here. One thing is a quick and easy list of the outings that are coming up. We have a page of those, or this is excerpted from our newsletter. So if you sign up for the newsletter, you get this and more in living color, vivid color. Another item on the table is this book. This book is not produced by the Sierra Club, but a lot of copies of it were donated to us, and we would love to give you one. If you enjoy the James River here in Richmond, grab a copy of this book. Great photos, great information. I will speak now for just a few minutes, and my name again is Joe Brancoli. I'm the chair of the Falls of the James Group. A part of our partnership with the Science Museum now and in the past, and something we invite you to participate in, is that if you have batteries that you want to get rid of, you can bring them to these meetings. We will take them. We also take them from the staff because we want these to be disposed of properly. Steve Yaris, who is not here tonight, he's the man who makes that happen, and we are very proud to do that. One moment, sir, in the crowd. I am also extremely proud to say that you've heard mentioned tonight big yard sales, and the proceeds from that make possible giving out money to other worthy groups. We have a grant program. We are restarting it now. We have on a poster board at the back, while you're having some sweet treats later, you can look at the list of the great groups we have given money to. And it's really, we feel that this is very important, to give back, to give to other groups that are doing great work. We also heard mentioned earlier tonight the Green Giant Awards. And these are awards we give out every year annually to people or institutions that do great environmental work in Central Virginia. And we invite the recipients of those awards to come to dinner in December and receive their awards and a $200 stipend to any organization they would like. that to be given to, which is usually their own organization, as would make sense. All right, a few other folks I just would like to recognize tonight. Another member of our executive committee who's here tonight is Carol Rively. She has done so much great work with young people, with putting together the logo and the letters for the Green Giant Awards, and just is a great, great presence. And we heard Gustavo Angeles mentioned earlier. He is with the Virginia chapter, and he is the Environmental Justice Director. And also here tonight is the, yes, I'll make it up role. I'll make up titles. It doesn't matter to me. I'll do it. Also with us tonight is the person who makes the chapter office run, and that is Barb Adams. Yeah, let's give both of these folks. And another member of our executive committee who put together the slides for tonight, who put together the program tonight, who made the desserts we're going to eat tonight, and who has amazing, amazing energy, is Aileen Rivera. And so we hope that you'll come out to our future programs here at the Science Museum and participate in all the activities, or the ones that suit you, that we have mentioned tonight, the outings, the door knocking, the volunteer days, because this is what we want to do, is get together and have fellowship and do good things in the community. I am going to go to the audience in a minute, but I also just want to say how great it is to be back here tonight and for the future. Now, give a shout out. For the past year, we returned to in-person meetings at Congregation Orme on Huguenot Road. And I wanted to say how grateful I am to them, because they gave us a space starting last September. It is a very warm and welcoming space. But it's also just very personally gratifying to be back here. I remember March of 2020, standing up here with a microphone, doing this thing, and it got to the end of the evening, and I wondered, there's this thing called COVID. Should I say anything? Should I say, well, maybe we're not going to have our April program? And I said, nah, don't say anything. I just said, okay, we'll see you back here in April, everybody. Good night, whatever. And you know what happened next. It was extraordinary, and we never thought we could do this again, but we are, and we can, and that's a great blessing. So thank you all for being here. I'll get out of the way, because there is a thing called a debate tonight, and if you need a sugar fix beforehand, please stick around and get that. And I do want to acknowledge, we had a hand raised in the audience. Yes, sir?
Yes, just a detail on the battery recycling. As many of you probably know, there are many places in town that accept rechargeable batteries. We accept non-rechargeable batteries. If there are other ones mixed in, we'll figure it out. That's not a problem, but not too many organizations accept non-rechargeable batteries. They just tell you to throw them away. And related, you can also take them to Staples. Staples accepts things from crayons to coffee pots, non-rechargeable batteries, and 100 other things. So look up on their website, and you can, if you're a recycler like I am, you can take it to Staples, probably.
That was Daryl Downing, board member of the Virginia Conservation Network, and
just to remind them about next month.
yes, next month we'll be back here on the second Tuesday of October. That's October 8th, and the topic will be a discussion about nuclear power, featuring a professor from VCU, our own Glenn Bessa, and the chair of the Virginia Chapter Legislative Committee, Bob Shippey, to give varying viewpoints on nuclear power. We hope you can come to that, and please stick around and enjoy fellowship and food. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, if you look at the Falls of the James Group or the chapter website, the calendar, there's a free film available on nuclear power all month. So since we're going to be talking nuclear next month, it's a 45-minute documentary, so I recommend it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Atomic Bamboozle is a short title.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Which service is it with? Documentary?